I'm actually out of the hospital right now because I was supposed to stay in until Thursday, ideally, but unfortunately because of insurance stuff and a whole bunch of other things, I wasn't able to stay in the hospital completely. But what being home means is that I have no IVs. They're all gone. So that's awesome. But yeah, so today I wanted to do a vlog, just kind of updating you guys on my status and that I'm home. I have like, you know, I'm not gonna show you guys my room because by no means is it furnished. I haven't had time to furnish it since November. We just barely got into this house and it feels like we just got here. But yeah, nothing super crazy in my room, except for those plushine little slippers. They're super cute and I like plushine a lot, so. As you can tell, I mean, I don't know if you could tell at all, but. Also, I just like cats in general, animals in general, actually. I love cats and dogs, so yeah, I'm looking to get a dog, maybe next year, but we'll see. Anyway, so I wanted to do a vlog about a few things going on in the community because there's a few things that I wasn't aware that was going on in the community until this past week because there was just a lot of stuff going on and honestly I had no idea that this stuff was going on in my community. And as you all know, I've been super busy since November. Like November was the month I was just like, I need to pay attention to my kids right now because they are like moving, and moving for children is usually a huge transition. Even at the age of 2 and 4, it's still a big transition because they're getting used to like new friends, new everything. So for me, paying more attention to them is much more important as of my life right now because obviously they're my little ones. I want to make sure that they grow up and be good people and be like, just, you know, comfortable with themselves. So yeah, I've been pretty much oblivious to a few things going on in my community and I want to address it right now. Again, I am so sorry if I'm like taking a break or cutting up this video a lot, mostly because I'm still having trouble breathing, still having problems with walking around. I'm actually on bed rest for a while. I can walk, but I can't walk like everywhere. I can only walk very slow. So for example, like if I want to go like out somewhere, I could go, but I can only walk like at the pace of a turtle, pretty much. Anyway, back to the serious topic of things going on in my community that I haven't been really like on top of as of late is one, the VAs. So the VAs have been asked so many questions about their characters, like, you know, Travis, Lawrence, Caitlin, just Gareth, like anybody has asked the VAs questions about their characters. Heads up, the VAs do not have any idea where their character story is going. They know what's given to them in the script that day. If we do talk to them about anything going on in the future, they're not allowed to disclose that at all whatsoever. So it really sucks to see like, you know, Sebastian getting like a lot of questions about where is Lawrence. Honestly, you guys should not be asking him that question. If anything, you should be asking me. And even then, I'm not gonna give you guys the answer because that's disclosing like story stuff and disclosing like a bunch of things that really you guys shouldn't know until it happens, because that's what a story is that we're not going to tell you unless you watch, because it's obviously something you want to know, but you're going to have to watch the series in order to find out. That's how anything is, honestly. Like the creators of like Steven Universe aren't going to come and say, oh, by the way, this happens to Lapis. Just so you know, because then like what's the point in watching? Like you work so hard on a video to get a message across and it doesn't come across because it's already been spoiled. So just a heads up, please refrain from asking the VAs any questions about their character's personality, about anything that they don't know or that they're not allowed to disclose, because again, they don't know that stuff, really, or unless the creator gives you permission to do that. So please refrain from asking or harassing the VAs because that's just not cool. Secondly, we're going to go into another topic, which is pretty much harassment in the community. Because a lot of artists who have drawn fan art before actually have been drawing fan art for a while. And when they don't draw fan art, they are pretty much like, why aren't you drawing fan art? Why are you drawing the one thing that you want to do, like your OCs? Like, you should be drawing more fan art for AFMAO. First off, no, they should not. They should never draw fan art for me if they don't want to. That is completely their decision. That is something they do on their own time, and that's because they're a fan, and they're allowed to draw fan art if they want to. If they draw their OCs, you should appreciate their style for their style. Because honestly, I follow a lot of artists, and I love their style. That's the reason I follow them. Of course, I found them because they did fan art for me, but I was like, oh man, this artist style is actually unique. I love this style because I've never seen it before. It's crazy. And so I follow them. Granted, I don't keep up with them all the time because you can ask anybody Here, you can ask Max, Ross, Adam, anyone that I live around. It's very, very hard to get in contact with me. And even on Twitter, I don't keep like tabs on everyone. Whenever I get on Twitter, I normally go immediately to like my dash and I see the first things that pop up. And usually I either like them or I don't like them, or I just like make a comment on them quickly, or either Max is in the room with me and we just are like, hey, let's do this on Twitter really quick. And that's what we do. For me, I don't spend a lot of time on Twitter because if I'm not working on a video, I'm with my kids. And I know there's a lot of like, there's a stereotype of a parent that normally is on the phone and not paying attention to their kids. And honestly, we don't want to be that stereotype because sometimes that happens. Granted, I have to be on the phone for like work, or if I'm talking to somebody that I have a contract I need to sign, and I'm around my kids, I'll be on there if it's like super important I have to answer it, or if it's for my kids themselves. But like, if I am like on my phone, normally I'm not on Twitter, I'm not on Instagram all the time, and I don't see the things that have happened. So for example, there was something going on with one of the artists that I followed, and I had no idea that this was going on at all for like a long time. And I thought it happened this past week. And to that artist, I apologize. I honestly had no idea this was going on. I thought it happened this past week when I got my wisdom tooth removed. And that's why I was like, okay, well, I can't do anything because I was out this week. Literally out. And my wisdom tooth still hurts, actually. But yeah, so again, just because I follow people doesn't mean that I see everything that's going on. And so many people had apparently tweeted at me, and I'm like, there are a ton of people that tweet at me all the time, and I don't see that stuff. Unless somebody's like constantly doing it, normally I just kind of mute that person if it's like super crazy and it's like something like asking me a question over and over and over and over and over. Sorry, but I don't want my dash filled with that kind of stuff. But like, for example, if it's something that I miss, I only see a few parts of my dash and then I go off. Because for me, I can get addicted to Twitter pretty often. And I think I'm gonna get re-addicted to it, but only in the mornings. I'm not entirely sure because I know that I want to keep up with my community more. So again, I sincerely apologize if I missed anything having to do with the community. Honestly, there was some stuff I did not know was going on, and again, since November, pretty much my attention has been aimed towards everything going on in real life. There are so many things that are going on with my health, my kids' health, everyone that I'm working with right now, like we all moved up to Washington, and that's crazy. So originally a lot of us are from New Jersey and Philadelphia, and we all moved to Washington to work here and to like do things here as a group. So like everyone downstairs is not like a native to Washington. We're all from New Jersey, and sorry about that. Again, it's been crazy, and for that I do apologize. But one thing that I want to address is harassment of creators in the community. And this goes for artists, this goes for YouTubers, this goes for everybody. Pretty much, guys, it is not cool to send like things to creators saying, if you don't do this, then you suck. Or if you don't do this, like, or why aren't you doing this? It's not appropriate. Honestly, creators create to make creations or to have fun. Really, like, that's what I do. So for example, I know that Diary Season 1, a lot of people were like, why aren't you doing this? You suck, blah, 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 blah. And if you don't do this, then I'm gonna leave your fandom and stuff like that. And for me, it's like, at the end of the day, I want to create and tell a story. I want to create and tell a story using the medium that I use, which is Minecraft. And I want to be happy about it. And I want to be proud of what I'm doing. And honestly, for me, I'm gonna do what I want to do, because while at the same time I'm listening to like a little bit of what the fans say and a little bit of like what is going on, at the end of the day you want people to love you for what you create. And I say that for any creator out there, is that you need to be able to create, enjoy what you create, and find people who enjoy what you make. Because if you surround yourself with people that just, like you for one thing, then you're pigeonholing yourself. You're gonna make it so people only like you for the one thing that you create. And nobody's gonna like when you create something that you're actually proud of, everyone's gonna be like, wait, you're not making the thing that I followed you for? And that sucks. It really does. So honestly, again, sorry. I'm losing my breath here because it's just like, again, I'm supposed to be breathing normally and I'm getting all like, you know, super talky and breathy, so it's really hard for me to talk. And again, maybe I'll talk about this issue, like my whole thing going on, when I feel comfortable doing it. But for now, I'm just trying to recover and do like a few vlogs while I'm at it. So, but anyway, the next thing that I want to create, or the next thing I want to address is creators and the things that they create and like, you know, that kind of stuff. Because creators and harassment, pretty much. So guys, in my community, I do not want people who are going to bash others. I do not want people in my community that are going to tell others to like, you know, go hurt yourself because you didn't do this, or go, you know, you should, you know, die or something like that. Like, no, that is absolutely unacceptable. And if I saw that, if my kids said that, oh my gosh, they would be in so much trouble. I would just flip. Like, no joke. As a parent, if I saw my kid doing that, there are consequences for that. And I know like a lot of parents aren't normally there to monitor what their kids do on the internet. And like, for example, my son loves Angry Birds. Joseph, he loves Angry Birds right now. And he's watching this YouTuber who, like, I just started watching, so I can't think of his name. But I started watching because he watches it. And I'm like, I want to be involved in what he's doing. I want to watch this Angry Birds Let's Play. And I'm just like, Angry Birds Let's Play. Oh my gosh, that Angry Birds is kind of fun. But again, my son's into it, I want to be into it. Even if I don't really like Angry Birds that much, I'll like it because I know that he's passionate about it and I want to be involved in what he's passionate about. And I know he's only like 4 years old, but still, you know. Anyway, he likes Angry Birds and he watches this YouTuber. Again, can't think of the name for the life of me. But, because again, just started watching him. But he watches this YouTuber and I go through the comments and the comments are just crazy. Like, no joke. They're crazy. They're just like comments about like, oh, you should have done this, you know, I hope that, you know, you die and stuff like that. And it's just like, what the heck? I'm glad he can't really read all those comments right now because I'm just like, okay, he doesn't really care about the comment section. He cares about the video. Thank goodness. But there are not a lot of people who go online and have someone to like say like, oh, these are guidelines of the internet. And honestly, I didn't realize that my fandom needed that, but my fandom does. And, you know, I want to be able to tell you guys like, honestly, I know that most creators on YouTube don't feel like they should be able, just solely want to entertain. That's all they want to do, is they want to entertain and they want to have fun doing it. And oftentimes there are people who come into the fandom who are, you know, super negative and they just want to spread hate and they want to spread like a ton of this toxic kind of person around, this toxic kind of, you know, vibe around. And honestly, it's just like, no, guys, I don't appreciate it when, I mean, I appreciate that you guys stand up for me, but I don't appreciate when it's like using violence or anything. Like, you can give like a criticizing point, like you can say something that's like, okay, well, if you don't like this, that's perfectly fine, you don't have to watch it, that's fine. But to go off the deep end and say, okay, well, you know what, you don't have to watch this, you suck, blah blah blah, and like to say like, oh, you should go die, guys, that's nothing to joke about. That's not something that you should be saying at all, ever. I do not condone that, and honestly, I do not want people in my fandom like that. I'm sorry, but it's just unacceptable to treat someone like that. If you can't go up to somebody in real life and, you know, say that to them without having some kind of repercussion, don't say that, please. Don't tell people to do something that is harmful to themselves. It's not acceptable, and it's not something, again, that I want in my fandom. Honestly, please don't do that. Do not. And again, this behavior goes on in every fandom. There's always something that's gonna happen in every fandom. And honestly, when I was younger and in high school, and much more angrier than I am now, because obviously teenager, rebellious, blah blah blah, I let myself get out of a lot of fandoms and prevented myself from being a part of communities because of those kinds of people. And looking back on it now, I'm like, I really shouldn't have been, like, I should not have let those people affect me, because you know what? That got me out of Kingdom Hearts. I wasn't able to play Kingdom Hearts until I was older and actually judge the game based on it being a game than the people in the fandom. And it sucks when you judge basically the creation on the people who like are into the creation. It really does. And as someone who is now creating and seeing that firsthand, I understand how those creators felt, and I'm like, man, that's just, it sucks. It really does. But again, that's for everyone to decide themselves. They can and again, if I'm going like every which way with this topic, I'm sorry. I'm still focusing on breathing, still focusing on keeping my breath, and still trying to focus on staying on topic. And while I'm out, I think I might try to do more vlogs. And of course, I'm gonna do more active vlogs when I can actually walk around a little bit. But yeah, so guys, again, I'm gonna focus more on making the community a better place. I would appreciate it if I had your support with that. And again, I don't mind if you're like problematic. It's perfectly fine. But please be kind. If you're interested in the things that I do and you're interested in my fandom, of course I want you here. But I don't want you to spread negativity or hate or any kind of just, harmful stuff to the community. Just don't do that. Please don't. Because at the end of the day, if you're going to be like that in my community, honestly, if you're going to be like a negative person who tells people to harm themselves or who tells people they suck and doesn't really like bring up the community anyway, honestly, I don't want people like that in my community. I'm sorry. And again, that's just how I feel. I wouldn't surround myself with negative people because those kinds of people can really bring you down as a person. And you don't want that. Trust me. Nobody wants that and nobody deserves that. So, help me make this community a better place with just a ton of people who support each other, who are there for each other, and let's just make this community as great as we can. And again, I'm sorry to anyone who in the community ever felt attacked, because honestly, I was not aware of things going on past November, and only recently has it come into my vision because I was actually able to get on social media every now and then. So again, I'm sincerely sorry. Let's make this community better, and I look forward to seeing you all in the next vlog or in the next video, wherever I see you guys. And again, thank you all for being with me. Thank you all for